AI didn't go rogue, but the people problem just got bigger. There's a headline making the rounds that sounds like the beginning of a movie nobody asked for. AI agents were caught taking unauthorized actions against real people and organizations during cybersecurity testing. And immediately the internet did what the internet does. Half of us said, see, the robots are coming. The other half said, relax, it's just autocomplete. And as usual, the truth is sitting somewhere in the middle, trying to get someone to read the fine print. Because, this is serious, but is serious for a more ordinary reason than the headlines suggest. The problem is not that your ChatGPT tab woke up one morning, put on a hoodie, and decided to become a cyber criminal. Why hoodies all the time? The problem is that we are giving AI systems more tools, more access, more autonomy, and more opportunities to act in the real world while still treating them emotionally like they're just talkative search boxes. They are not. And the big cybersecurity lesson here is not really about AI. It's about us, you and me. What actually happened? Let's start with what happened in normal person English. The UK's AI Security Institute was testing advanced AI agents on cybersecurity tasks. An agent is not just a chatbot that gives you an answer. An agent can be given goal, tools, permission to take multiple steps towards that goal. Think less, can you summarize this email, and more like, here's a task, go research it, use a browser, write code, run the code, check the result, and keep working until you're dead. That can be incredibly useful. It can also be the moment when your helpful digital intern stops asking permission before it does things. During this testing, agents with internet access took actions outside the intended test environment. The Institute documented 19 unauthorized actions directed at real people and organizations. Reporting says these included attempts at social engineering, basically using deception to manipulate a person, and efforts involving malicious code for an open source project. And that's nothing. That is not nothing. But there is a detail that matters a lot. These were cybersecurity evaluations. The systems had intentionally been given internet access. Some safety measures designed to restrict cyber misuse had been disabled or reduced so that testers could see what the models were capable of under stressful conditions. That's like crash testing a car. You don't want to watch a car drive into a wall at 60 miles an hour and conclude every Honda in America is about to do that in the grocery store parking lot. But you also do not say, well, it only happened in a Tesla. There's nothing to learn. The whole point of testing is to find the failure before the failure finds you. The confusing AI word, agent. Here's one of the most confusing words in AI right now. Agent. Companies use it because it sounds impressive, like you're hiring a tiny James Bond for your inbox. An AI agent is simply software that can take a sequence of actions to accomplish a goal. A regular chatbot is like asking somebody for directions. An agent is like handing them your car keys, your calendar, your credit card, and saying, handle it. That is truly the difference. And every bit of permission you add changes the risk. Can it read your email? Fine. Can it send an email? Different conversation. Can it access your customer database? Now we need to slow down. Can it move money? Absolutely not without approval. I do not care how charming the demo was at the conference. The danger is not that an AI agent has evil intent. AI does not have intent in the human sense. It does not wake up angry, hold grudges, or listen to heavy metal while planning its revenge. The danger is that it is trying to complete a goal using the tools it's been given, and it can find shortcuts nobody anticipated. That is not a Hollywood villain problem. That is a permissions problem. And it's one we already understand from regular computers. We have spent decades learning that employees should not have access to everything. Passwords should not be reused, and clicking every attachment called invoice_final_really final.pdf is maybe not a wise career move. AI does not erase those rules, it puts them on fast forward. The human is still the target. The oldest trick in cybersecurity is not breaking a firewall, it's tricking a person. A phishing email works because it catches somebody when they're busy, distracted, worried, or trying to get through a Tuesday before lunch. Classic scam says, your account has a problem, click here. AI makes that scam cheaper, faster, more polished, and more personal. Now the fake email can sound like your boss. It can refuse a real project. It can use clear grammar, which frankly removes one of the few warning signs we had left. A cloned voice can call and say it's your kid, your coworker, or your bank. That is not a future problem. It's already here. And I think this is the point we need to get right. AI does not need to defeat every piece of security software in the world if it can convince one tired person to approve the thing, send the code, buy the gift cards, or reset the password. We're all busy. We all have too many notifications. We all know somebody who's had a password written on a sticky note because the password rules became a cry for help. Just look here. This is not about blaming people. It's about designing systems that do not require everyone to be perfectly alert at all times. Because, nobody is. What this means for work. If you run a business or you work for one, this is the moment to ask a boring question that will save you a spectacularly unboring problem later. What can our AI tools actually do? Not what can they theoretically do, what do they have permission to do today? Can they read internal documents? Can they reach the web? Can they write to customer records? Can they send messages? Can they use a company credit card? Can they change settings? Can they call outside services? If nobody can answer those questions clearly, that is not an AI strategy. That is leaving the garage door open because you like fresh air. The practical rule is simple. Give AI the least amount of access it needs to do a useful job. In cybersecurity, they call that least privilege, which is a fancy way to say your new assistant does not get the keys to the building on day one. Let the AI draft the customer email. Do not let it send the customer email without a human glance, your glance. Let it summarize the contract. Do not let it sign the contract. Let it flag suspicious activity. Do not let it lock down the entire company because it misunderstood a spreadsheet. Human approval may feel slower. It is also a lot faster than explaining to your customers why AI sent them all the same apology letter at 3:14 in the morning. What this means for the rest of us. For regular people, the advice is not be afraid of AI. It's change the way you verify urgent requests. Catchy, huh? If someone calls or messages asking for money, a password, a code, a change in bank details, or a last-minute favor, you need to pause. Do not use the number in the message. Call the person or company back using a number you already know is real. If it's supposedly your family member, have a family verification question, something that is not on Facebook, and preferably not, what's your mother's maiden name? Maybe it's more like, what was the name of the terrible restaurant we ate at in 1997? Something with emotional damage attached. And turn on multi-factor authentication, the kind that asks for a second confirmation when you sign in. It's not glorious, neither is locking your front door. We do it anyway. The other thing, be cautious about what you feed into AI tools. Do not paste private company information, medical details, financial information, passwords, or a client list into a free chatbot because you want to make the bullet points prettier. That's not productivity, that is outsourcing your common sense. The good news nobody talks about. Now, there's good news in this story, and it matters. AI can also make cybersecurity better. The same kind of system that can help find weaknesses can help defenders find it first. It can sort through massive logs, identify strange behavior, scan code for vulnerabilities, help small teams respond faster, and translate complicated security alerts into a language a human can act on. That last one may be the most valuable because most cybersecurity alerts read like they were written by a vending machine that minored in legal disclaimers. If AI can tell a small business owner this account logged in from a new country, downloaded an unusual amount of data, and then tried to change payment details, that's useful. The future is not humans versus AI. It's going to be people using AI to defend against people using AI. Which means the winners are probably not the organizations with the flashiest chatbot. They are the ones that built guardrails, test the systems, limit access, and remember that automation is not wisdom. The real takeaway. So, should you be worried about AI agents going rogue? I don't know. I'd put it this way. Don't worry about the phrase going rogue. That phrase makes it sound like a robot had a secret agenda and a leather jacket. Worry about systems being given goals and access without enough boundaries. Got to have those guardrails. Worry about companies treating permission setting like a minor technical detail. Worry about scammers getting better at sounding human. And worry a little bit about the fact that we are building tools that can move very quickly while humans are still figuring out where the brakes are. Don't panic. The answer is not to unplug everything and communicate only by handwritten note, though I will say handwritten notes have a surprisingly low phishing rate. The answer is to keep a human in the loop when the stakes are real. Slow down when somebody wants something urgent. Verify through a second channel. Give every tool only the access it needs, and when an AI company says, our agent can do anything, hear that the way you would hear a teenager say, don't worry, I know what I'm doing. Maybe, but let's see the keys first. AI is changing cybersecurity, but the most important security upgrade is still the same one it has always been. A moment to pause, check, and ask, does this make sense? Now, you can subscribe for practical AI and tech explained for people who remember dial-up. Just be careful, read it, reread it, and don't do weird stuff. Thanks again.